Welcome back to Time for Adventure. Today we're checking out native plants of Florida, but before we get started, hit that subscribe button below. While you do that, I'm going to go find the first plant. This is catbrier. These little tidbits at the very end are actually edible. Now don't eat too many of them because they will upset your stomach. Personal experience there. But it tastes just like asparagus. Good little snack out on the trail. So what we got here, some poison ivy. If I'm touching something with the stick, that means you probably don't want to touch it with your hand. Poison ivy will make you break out in a rash. Super itchy, not a lot of fun. Now how you can identify it is leaves of 3, leave them be. General principle, good to know. How you can identify poison ivy from other leaves of 3 is the lower leaves have short stems versus the center stem is longer. So again, poison ivy, leave it be. Don't use it as triple ply toilet paper. So we got another good vine here. Let's see if I can get it without falling in. This is Virginia creeper. I'm gonna pull one that's slightly closer. Didn't fall in. So this is Virginia creeper. Can be confused oftentimes with poison ivy. I'll talk about that in a second. But how you can identify it as Virginia creeper is it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves. When you look at the stem itself is actually the same length on each leaf. If for some reason the bottom 2 leaves fall off and you have 3 leaves, this is often where people misidentify it as poison ivy. But again, you going off of the stem lengths, you can know that this is Virginia creeper. So 5 leaves, okay to touch. The glorious red maple, found deep in the swamps. Seriously though, this is a red maple. They turn red in the fall time. Maples are found in swampy areas. They like to have wet roots. So you're gonna find them out in the cypress swamps, which is why you got cypress back here, usually towards the edge of the cypress swamps. All maples produce sap that you can create syrup from. So in early America, this is actually where you would get your sugar source from before there was sugar cane. In order to tap a maple tree, the maple tree needs to be about a foot wide or larger. And from there, you're able to tap it and drain the sap, boil it down, and create syrup. Early Americans would actually strip the outer bark of larger branches and chew it because it's full of sugar. That's where the sap comes from. And then native people would actually crush it up and turn it into a flour. So again, this is red maple. In an emergency, I guess you could use the bark to make it through the night. Hey, check this one out. This is, I can tell by the long leaves that are parallel to each other, this is coastal willow. And why this is a very useful plant in the wild is willow is actually where aspirin comes from. So if you have a headache or body pains and you want to get rid of it quick, just chew the leaf. Ooh. It's really bitter. Okay, I would have to be in a lot of pain to actually use this. Long story short, this is actually where aspirin originally came from. They isolated it out of the willow tree, and the coastal willow has that same properties. This is found all throughout Florida, from the coastal region all the way into the inland swamps like where we're at now, and it prefers wet soil, so you're going to see it in disturbed areas or in wet areas, much like this cypress swamp. Let's move on and find some more plants. So this is really hard to figure out the name of it. This boardwalk's already about 2.5 or 3 feet off the ground. I'm sitting on the edge of the railing, and this fern is still taller than me. Coming in at 6 something. I'm pretty tall to begin with, so when they were naming this fern, they gave the name Giant Fern. Kind of a cool plant. just because how big it is makes you feel like you're in Jurassic Park or something. Big fern, let's just call it giant fern. If I can get down without falling. Ta-da! Check this out. So this is a pond apple. It must have fallen from the tree above us. You can actually see, ooh, it smells exactly like honeydew. And it's loaded with all these little seeds in here. I think because it's up here, the pigs aren't able to get to it. Come check it out. Tempted. Looks a little moldy, so I don't know if I really want to take a bite of it. Tastes exactly like honeydew. Cool. That does it for this week on Time for Adventure. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any other ideas for future videos, be sure to add them in the comments below. Until next time, find time for adventure.